The next thing I'm going to do is add a simple two-dimensional style mouth on this character so we could add some lip sync or face expressions on her mouth. I added a box already. I just duplicated the brows, replaced the text with mouth sync, and I'm going to use this controller to make the mouth go closed, open, and then wide and narrow. That's your basics, your basic shapes for lip sync. I'm going to create a nurb circle in the front view, create nurbs primitive circle, just draw it there, and move it out in front of her mouth, or where her mouth would be. And put it where you think the mouth would be. I'll call this mouth. And I'm going to freeze the transformations. You could also model this a little bit to get kind of a neutral mouth shape if you want. Instead of just a ooh look on the circle, you could right click, go to control vertex, that makes her look kind of happy. We'll just kind of put a neutral kind of look on her mouth. There we go. And we're going to use blend shapes to get this mouth to go in different shapes. So I'll take this, I'm going to center pivot. I'm going to duplicate this 4 times for open, closed, wide, and narrow. So I'll duplicate this, I'll translate it, and this one's going to be mouth open. And I'll take the mouth and go to right click with the mouse to go to control vertex mode and open it up. Something like that will work. Duplicate it again. I'll move it over to the side. I'll have this be mouth closed. And I'll right click, go to control vertices, and move it up so the mouth looks closed. That'll work for now. Duplicate the mouth again. This will be mouth narrow. I can take all these control vertices and scale them down to make it narrow. Make sure you don't actually scale the object, because blend shapes don't work with scaled objects. It only works with displaced vertices or control vertices. So this is going to be the narrow shape for the mouth. And then I think that's it. Oh, we need wide. Duplicate it one more time. Move it down here. Go to control vertices. I'm just going to scale it as wide as would want the mouth for like the E shapes. This would be good. Now that I have the 4 different versions of the mouth made, which we're going to use as blend shapes, I'll go ahead and apply these blend shapes to the objects. So you always pick the blend shape targets first, and then the base shape last, so the base shape is mouth. We'll go to create deformers blend shape, hit the options for it, and I'm going to call it mouth shapes. The rest of it's fine. Hit apply. And to see that it worked, I'm going to hide these shapes. Control H, hides. We'll go to Window, Animation Editor, Blend Shape. It shows you these mouth shape sliders, or the mouth shape group here. And here's wide. You see the mouth go wide. It goes narrow. It goes closed. and it goes open, and you can combine them. So open and wide, closed and narrow. We don't want to have to animate in here with these sliders, so I'm going to use the set driven key to get that to work. First, I'm going to make the mouth planar NURB surface. I'll change my menu set over to surfaces, go to surface, and hit planar. That makes it an object. Let's make sure we can see NURB surfaces. There you go. We can't see that very well. Let's see, mouth surface. So I'm going to go to the hypershade, Window, Rendering Editors, Hypershade, and I already have a nice black color made. So we'll pick the surface and hit Assign Material to Selection. There you can see the mouth. Now it doesn't look great from the sides, maybe we can move it a little closer, but from the front it looks like a cool cartoony mouth. If you move the shape, it'll also move the NURB surface because it has history on it. I'll freeze the transformations. I'm going to move it a little closer to the mouth, maybe even that close. Modify, freeze transformations. Okay, let's get the mouth sync working. We're going to use set driven key again, and this object is going to control the blend shapes. So I'm going to call this mouth control, mouth sync control more specifically. I'll hit load driver. The Y translation is going to make the mouth open and close. So translate Y. And to select the blend shapes for the object, you think you could select the surface, or in this case the curve, and hit load driven, but there's no blend shapes on that. To select blend shapes in Maya, you have to have the blend shape window open and hit select. Now when we hit load driven, you'll see the mouth shapes. I'm going to have open and closed be controlled by the Y. Make sure our controller's at 0 and hit key. When I move this up, we're going to make the mouth closed, so get your blend shape window up. You see they're being controlled by set driven key because it's this orangey color. So we're going to have the mouth closed all the way up, hit key. Now let's move our slider down to be open, mouth open, hit key. Let's see how that works. Here's neutral, there's closed, and there's open. You notice we put opposites on sliders away from each other. You never want your character's mouth to be open and closed at the same time, so using the slider method makes it so we can't have the mouth open and closed. That if we have both the open and the closed shape at 100%, our mouth would look pretty messed up. So now we're going to have the side to side be the wide and narrow. I'll open the set driven key back up. We'll have translate X, control the mouth wide and narrow. Let's hit key. Let's move it out to the side and have it go wide. Hit key. Make sure you hit key in the set driven key option. And then I'm going to move it to the right here. Let's make it go narrow and hit key. So side to side makes it wide and narrow. Up and down is open and closed, and you can combine them. So open and wide, wide and closed, wide and open. So you can do just basic lip sync using this up and down, kind of like a puppeteer. So now we have eyelids that can open and close. Let's put our hair back. Brows that can rise up and down, left and right. And a mouth that can do 4 basic shapes. You could also put an emotion controller on for the mouth. You could put that on a up and down slider here to make her smile and frown. That's the basics of using set driven key to control objects on a cartoony character's face. Thank you for watching.